Hey guys, welcome to the John Freitag channel. In this video, I'm monkeying around on that Cadillac some more, trying to get the wipers working. It's really running me through the mill. I wind up tearing that whole wiper motor apart. It runs and it don't run, then it works and it don't work. I don't know what to do with this thing. Maybe you guys have some advice for me on this wiper motor. Anyway, enjoy the video. Okay, so I was able to take off one of these plastic plugs right down in there, and I was able to unhook the arm that goes to the wipers, and that seems to be pretty free. I can move that back and forth real free, so that's not the problem. It must be this motor's tight, but I'm gonna try to run it. If it gets rolling and get it going, maybe it'll just keep going and I'll have wipers enough to pass inspection. I did price the wiper motor. It's like $500, so we want to stay away from that. I'd probably retrofit something. I don't know. I'll work it back and forth with the electrics and see if it starts working. All right, let's see if I can get this thing to roll, get going a little bit anyway. See, I think that middle one was the one that worked the best. Oh yeah, it's rolling around. Well, it's really weak, that's for sure. It ain't going good. Maybe I'll pull it apart. I don't know, probably it's just rusty up in there. And if I clean it up and fix it, it's better than spending $500 on a new one. Well, looking this thing over, I was really hoping to find some gummed up grease or something, but it's really quite liquidy. I mean, around the edge there, it's a little gummy, but it's really not bad enough, I think, to cause it. I mean, this grease is still pretty slippery. It's not all hard and chunky, which I expected, kinda. Now, I really don't want to get involved in this mechanism here because I'm not sure I'll get it back together right. So, I gotta figure out what's causing this thing to operate so stiff. So the grease not being grimy and everything, I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this back together and hook it up and try it. Now we get a little rust here and stuff, but I don't think anything really got in there too much. Well, let's see if I can get it back together and get it lined up, get it hooked back into the thing it's supposed to be hooked into, and it seems like that is. 3 little screws, put them back, and then we'll try it. We're just gonna hook it up to jumper cables and see what we can get out of it. That screw, and that screw. I would have tried turning on with this cover off, but I don't want things to fly out and, you know, some spring goes rolling out under something, I can't find it. So I'm closing this thing up. I'm just going to see if it actually will run without being all that stiff. I don't know why it would at this point. I really didn't do anything. Snug. Okay. So here we have it. I got to figure out how I'm going to get on that with that jumper cable. This is how I'll do it. I'll hook that jumper to the screwdriver and put the screwdriver to the terminal. And I got nothing. Ooh, I got spark there. Nothing. I'm not getting a ground. Oh man, something's gone haywire. Well, somehow I broke a connection. And I don't know why. Well, I guess I gotta take it back apart and see what's going on in there now. Jeez Louise, what the heck? I wonder what I did. Not good. Well, I'm not sure what exactly, but I think I was parked. I was locked in a park position. That rolls that backwards, and then that'll allow that to roll forward to a point. And I think, I don't know. Did I have this in the wrong position or what? But it's got to back that up. It's going to go into latch and stop position. That stopped. Now from there, it'll come back out. Okay, so I'm back in stop. I think what I'm doing is I'm going back and forth between actual run and stop. And I'm thinking if I put this back together and plug it back in, I think it's just going to work. And hope for the best. Yeah, let's see if it will work, if it just will run a little bit faster, just because it's not in the car hooked up to stuff. So let's see. I got to go to that middle one there, and that runs it. If I could just keep it running for a minute. I don't understand how that's supposed to operate the wipers. Well, things seems to be working. What's the deal with this? Now I'm seeing little bits of smoke. I don't think I like that a whole lot. That's cold, cool as a cucumber. I think the smoke came from my connection over here. I hope I'm not burning the thing up, because that would not be happy. I don't understand how this thing's supposed to work. I always thought this thing went all the way around, but well, there's another connection in there which probably does something that engages it. Let's see. Let's try to put it in park, see what it does. Okay, that's park. Anyway, I'm going to put it back in and see what happens. I don't know what else to do with it. All right, guys, wish me luck. Okay, I got the thing back out. I don't get this. The way the actuator spins, or I should say doesn't spin, just makes it inoperable. I mean, I had it in there, and it's working now, it's rolling, but it would move the wipers like a fraction of an inch because this isn't going all the way around. Okay, so that reversed it. It seems like, I don't understand why this doesn't just spin around. Just that wiggle waggle. Everything's working freer now too. But why does that not spin? There's something in here stuck. There's another activator, and I bet you it's under this cover. And we got to dig into it and find out what the heck is going on here. Okay, so this thing's driving me nuts. So this stud here looks like it goes all the way through to that bolt there, and that doesn't allow that to spin. Now there's no way that unlatches and allows it to spin in a complete circle. See, it shuts off periodically too. Oh my gosh, this is frustrating. All right, I gotta sit here and eat my Altman's herring brain food. Maybe I'll come up with some reason why this just isn't working right. All right, I'm going in finally. I'm gonna take this green gizmo off, see what the heck that does. Cause I've been monkeying around with it. If I hold this up, it turns off the main motor, that latch and that spring there. Hope I don't wind up in a spring conundrum. Okay, so this wire goes back to here. And I don't know why. Is this unhooked? This wire right here causing my problem? But I have no idea where it would hook to. All right, so I've got this red wire that goes to there. That wire goes to the center. That heats that up. Oh, that's part of the switch. I thought it looked like breaker points or something. I wonder what goes on in this thing. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna look this thing up, see what it looks like, and maybe I can get a close look at it in a picture, figure out what in the world it's supposed to do. Well, there it is. Caddy Daddy's got it for like 60 bucks. I don't know if mine's bad or good or if this is the exact right one, but that looks similar, doesn't it? All right, I think I got this somewhat figured out. This guy here is the park control. Now, it also has the reverser thing that operates the park control. I'm not sure how that's gonna work. I'm gonna have to figure this out. But I'm thinking what I'm going to wind up doing is deleting this and then just losing my park control and having a manual park. And then if I ever want park, I'll just get a new wiper motor, I guess. But I think that's what it does. So I'm going to put this back together. There's this electromagnet here that I believe is supposed to click on and hold this dog up into position. And then that would allow it to keep rolling instead of tripping out like it's been doing. You know, maybe what I'll do is just wire this up so it doesn't latch, and then we'll live with it that way. All right, here we go. Let's see if I can get that cram back in there. So this guy slides down in here. This guy slides in here. Those wires come out of there. That wire goes in there. I don't want that sticking up. Tuck it down in. That pin's on that. Hex screw goes right here. Now, I've been lucky before. Things just start working when you tear them apart, but I don't think I'm gonna get that lucky on this. Snug this thing up. Let's see what it does. See, that's what it does. It latches in there, and I believe, and I'm not positive, that electromagnet holds this in a position, like I'm going to do it right now with this screwdriver, so that if I go too far, it shuts it off. So now it's working. So the electromagnet is not doing what it's supposed to do. And now I'm getting smoke again. And I really don't know why, or where it's coming from. I think the little electromagnet's burned up in there. I see wafts of smoke. So, I don't know, I guess I'm just going to disable it, I think. Oh boy, what a pain in the neck. How do I disable this and still have the thing so it'll run? I don't care about park that much, I can live without it. It's not the end of the world. Wipers will come on, they'll stop halfway up the windshield, and I'll just bump them until they go down to where they belong. I'm going to pull it apart again and just take a look in there. I got to figure out how I'm going to make this thing just work. I don't care about wiper speeds either. Really? Don't plan on driving it that much in the rain. I think it's 53 years old. It's doesn't have to come out in the wet no more. If I supply juice to that, it works. Oh my gosh. So why didn't it work in the car? Maybe I'm not getting juice to that. What is going on? I don't think this is bad now, because that just ain't bad. When I say ain't, I mean isn't. So let me put this thing back together. Hear it clicking? How come that does that now? When this is running, it doesn't. I just don't know. Well, I don't know why precisely that I had to figure this thing out to the point where now I know what every wire on here does. But I did. And now that I figured out, let me show you guys what it does. The center one is the operation. The bottom one is park. So I'm going to hit that right now. I should park it. Okay, that parked it. Now I can hit this one. and now it runs, but it does not spin the wiper arm. It's locked out, and I don't know why, but that's how this thing works. Now, this terminal, I was thinking I had to put heat to it, but I don't. I have to ground it. When I ground it, the thing works. Now the wiper's working, and it's spinning the arm in the back. I'm gonna put this whole thing back in the car, hook up the arms, get it all hooked up, try it again. If it don't work, it's gotta be in the switch, or I got a bad ground somewhere. Not positive what, but we're gonna figure this thing out because I need wipers. Okay, I got that all reinstalled in there and it still doesn't work right. So, if I turn on the key, also something in there is clicking. So I don't know, gotta dig into this some more, I guess. Driving me nuts. Maybe my buddy Tim has an idea. All right, I'm gonna clean up this chrome for the fender skirts and put them on, while in the background my little brain has gotta be whirling about why that darn windshield wiper ain't working. Well, I got the skirts thrown on there, and boy, that looks good. Got the hubcaps, the skirts. I figured while I was thinking about why those wipers aren't working, I would get that stuff done anyway. So, try to make it look a little better. Boy, that does look good with the skirts on. I've seen these ride around before, of course, not lately, without skirts, and it really makes a difference. So I was monkeying around with the wipers again. They weren't working, and in the meantime, I had it unplugged. And while it was unplugged, I tried them again and again and again, and then I plugged them in, and now they work. So let's see. We'll try it now. Keys on, wiper switch. Yep, there they go. They're working like they're supposed to, too. So it must be, I don't know, they freed up. So now I can put the wiper blades on and button this thing up front here, clean up the windshield and stuff. So I think I'm all done. I think I got it inspectable. Of course, then I looked at the back and the tail lights were stuck on, the brake lights, but I got that fixed. That was just a matter of, for some reason, the brake light switch on the pedal unscrewed itself and fell off. So I put that back and now that's working again. So I gotta clean up some of the grunge. This is some of the old Junkyard Caddy grunge from sitting in a field for 20 some years. So I gotta scrape that off, clean it up. Got the windshield cleaned up pretty sparkly. This stuff works great. I don't know if you guys know, I got this down at my Happy Napa invisible glass, and holy smokes, really nice. Really works good. So I'm gonna get this all cleaned up and get her looking decent, and the next day it's not rainy and nasty out. I'm gonna see if I can get it out of the shop and maybe drive it downtown, put some gas in it. Gotta get it inspected, but I think I've got all the inspectable problems solved. And there you have it. So it's pretty close to done. Okay, I'm hoping this windshield wiper setup doesn't drive me insane. So I pulled the motor back out because it quit, and it had the wiper like going straight up and down the windshield, which is stupid, and then it wouldn't go. It wouldn't go back, wouldn't go forward, wouldn't do nothing. I even tried just energizing the wires, nothing worked. I had to take it back out, pull the cover off again, and move that dog on the gear back over to the latch position, and then things would work again. So I did all that, and I put it back in, and I didn't hook it up to the rod yet, but if you look in there now, turn on the key, turn on the wipers, there you go, you can hear it, it's spinning, it's doing what it's supposed to do, but I don't have it hooked up to the wiper arm. So now I'm gonna turn it off, and it went into park, turn it on again, starts up and goes. That's park. I turned it off, put it back in park. I'm gonna hook up that wiper arm, and if it don't work now, I'm stymied. I have no idea why this thing shouldn't just work. Okay, let's see what it does. I've got the one wiper hooked up, I got the wiper arm, which means both of the spindles will turn, but just that one wiper is gonna go. Let's see what it does. I'll turn the key on. I'm just gonna go right to full blast. High setting. Nope. Maybe it's hitting something in the cowl. What is going on? It won't try to go again, I don't think. Nope, that's it, it's off. I don't know, I gave it a shove, hit the button again, and it worked. So, first it went to park, and now it's just rolling along and working. So, well, let's see if it shuts off. This is a lot of fun, huh? Windshield wiper. But these are the little things you run into, and all of a sudden it's a major problem. Okay. It's off. Oh, see it? It jammed it again. All right, now I'll do what I did last time. It's got something to do with the park mechanism. Everything seems to be in good shape in there. And wherever I flip that switch, it doesn't matter. It's just sitting there. Oh my gosh. Driving me crazy! And things aren't so stiff that they shouldn't just work. That's hard. Oh. We're about 242 subscribers away from 1,000. Thanks for subscribing, really appreciate it. Now with this wiper, what do we do? Why do I always have wiper problems? I had wiper problems on the bus that were weird. I got wiper problems on this. The Jag, the wiper quit. The Empress told me I have to fix that. I don't have a clue what's wrong with that. Okay, so anyway, let's think about this systematically. The wipers didn't work at all to start with. Okay, so then I pulled the wiper motor out. I put it on the bench, crossed some connections, and got it working. Then I thought things were wrong because the park part wasn't working. It wasn't spinning. So we figured that out. We figured out the way the switch works. With that, it has it set up with an electromagnet that catches a dog and lets it spin completely around and operate the wipers out of the park position. And then it goes back to the park position, which is further away than the normal eccentric. So that's the thing. It does work it in a normal eccentric, and then it moves it to a park position, which is further away. And they did that by having a mechanical dog, and some engineer, genius guy, must have figured this out. I'm just trying to figure out what he did, and that's hard enough for me. But all that to say, then we got it working on the bench so it would work. Then we got it in the car and it'll work and it'll spin. And then we got it so it would work with just working the things. Then I put a wiper blade on and now it won't work. So now it goes so far and stops. But you know what I think it is? I think it's catching, believe it or not, on that through the roof sealant I dropped in through the cowl that gooed down over the edge. That stuff builds up kind of high, and I think it may be interfering with the arm travel. So that's what I'm going to look at next, and that's what I'm going to work on, and then we're going to see if that makes this wiper work. Okay, I give that arm a little bend. I had to pull the motor out again, reset it so it'll start again. We're going to try running it again without any wipers on it, and if it runs, I'm going to let it run for a little while. So let's see what happens. It's working. I can also see where I bent that. It was hitting the inner cowl. It's not doing that now. Let's see if it parks. All right, just parked. Now, start it again. And it is working. Well, guys, what do? I just did something weird. I don't know what. Huh. It is rolling. Okay, so this thing's locked up again. I don't know why. I was running right along fine and it locked up. So, pull this cover off. And that looks like it's locked there, doesn't it? Because it is locked right up. And I don't understand why it locked up. But even if I put juice to it, it sparks, which means it's trying to go. And I heard it clicking, like it's trying to roll. But this is jammed. And for some reason, it jammed in this position. Now, I don't have a clue why. And I probably can turn this now. But it's locked right up in there. Why is it doing that? So basically, it's this arm up here, latched in this position. I can't move it with one arm. Maybe this thing's dropping out on occasion and lets this click by. You know what I could do? I could eliminate all this stuff and just seize that up on there and make it so it just spun in a circle all the time. And it wouldn't have park position anymore, but it would just work. And that might be where I'm at. That might be where I gotta go to. I just lock it up because the motor runs. I just gotta get it to spin. And then I put it back in and it would just, of course I wouldn't have park anymore, which would kind of stink, but you know what? I can park manually. I could hit the button until it gets on the park position. Well, anyway, this is just one of those things. I've got probably, in these wipers now, I've probably got 4 hours monkeying around with this in and out, trying to make it run, getting it running, having it lock up and quit. So right now I'm a little frustrated with it. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet. Gotta get the wipers so they'll at least work. Like I said before, I'm not really all that panicky over it. I don't want to buy a new motor because that's like almost 500 bucks. You know what I might do? I might see if I can get a motor off my buddy Dave, the guy I got the car from, and we'll do that. And this motor is just going to wind up getting locked up. I'm going to eliminate this whole thing because I think this is what's causing my problem. Well, guys, anyway, stuck around to this point. Thanks. Appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next one.